Living in the world of Cataclysm is an exploration not only through space, but also through time. And we are now living in the autumn of this world. Welcome, everyone. My name is Ryan, and we are back with episode 17 of the Innawood playthrough. This is our character, Whist. There she is, a little bit cold and chilly after waking up here in the bottom of her cave, but it's also dark. So let's go to the surface, everyone. It's good to be back with you. If you've been tuning in for the series all along, I really appreciate you. Cataclysm is one of my all-time favorite games, and it's so much fun to bring it to you in special runs like this one here, the Innawoods. And of course, once we've either retired our character or she meets her untimely demise, I will continue with more Cataclysm on the channel. In fact, I'll probably go back to doing live streams of it, but we'll just see how things go. And of course, we'll do plenty more Innawoods runs too as the, months and stuff go on. But for now, let's just see what's happening up here. We have been really working on our tools. Yeah, we've gotten into the blacksmithing age. Let's start this fire here. Get a little bit of light. We step outside so we can tell the time of day. Early morning. Of course, she's hungry. Her speed is reduced because of that coldness. She's really chilly right now. So let's see what we've got up here. Plenty of water. Not much to eat prepared, so maybe we can scramble up a few eggs. That's something she's been living off of for a while, but you know what, on second thought, we definitely don't want to get scurvy again. She's doing okay on that, but I think since we're in autumn, maybe we should take a little bit of a break here from, our tool making, just briefly, folks. And let's get out here and pick some of this new autumn fruit. I think apples might be one of the forageables that come to fruit during the autumn. So there's going to be still quite a few things we can pick, which is great for us because, of course, our dehydrating racks, we need to keep these going. And currently, they're all sitting idle. I think we finished around with meat most recently, but again, with, vitamins being a real issue in this game, it is important for us to keep a varied diet, and that means through the winter too. So we need to pick and think ahead and get a big batch of stuff that we can just start to dry. So we'll say hello to our bison fellow. He's going to be our next victim, but again, there's no real rush. And now that we do have a nice little stash here, we made ourselves a root cellar above ground, I think we're going to be much better prepared for food preparation. But so the trick to this is to, first I think, let me just make sure what we're wearing. Yeah, we do have our frame pack with the basket on. Now, it looks like I've got an item in it. Oh, okay, the wood bronze saw. That's probably too big to keep in everything else, but I'm just trying to figure out how much storage capacity I have. Do I want to drop this? I think we'll keep it on us because we can still probably pick up a bunch of stuff. So the technique I've been using for foraging is pretty simple. We just turn on auto harvest to everything. We can see that auto foraging, I should say, to everything. Next, I turn on auto travel. There we go. That's now on. What that does is allow us to just move out of the way of obstacles automatically. So I don't have to do the heavy lifting. The computer just dodges around trees for me. And then if we just turn on auto haul, the 3 autos, as we pick stuff up, it becomes too much to put in our backpack. We'll just drop it at our feet and we will instantly haul it with us. So yeah, roses are going to be something too. I've been advised we probably want to try and keep it. I don't know what we do. Maybe make rose hip tea. We'll look into it. But the next stage is just to dive into the forest, which can be dangerous. But let's see, what kind of a tree is that? Yeah, we're definitely picking things. It's auto done, but sometimes if you walk into a thick area and maybe you're surrounded, you got like berry bush, tree, and they can all be foraged, it's good to hit E because you'll do one thing automatically, but you're not going to pick like every surrounding square. So I will just occasionally hit E. Oh, that's asking me to plant something. Yeah, so this is what I will do for the next few minutes. It will probably take most of the day, especially if we get a big pile of stuff to drag along. So this foraging is no joke, but as I said, it really is critical. And once we've got a good assortment, we'll take a look at what kind of like goodies the autumn has to offer us. Ooh, boy, all right. Let me tell you what. She is hungry, moderately weary, and it is now the afternoon, but this is, in fact, the second trip. So that means we've got a ton of stuff. Yeah, you can see we're losing light as we travel here. So we can turn off all our automatics. There we go. And stop hauling. I'm just going to, let's just immediately see what foods we picked up. Okay, so in our pocket, we've got hobbleberries. Never heard of that. Ooh, this looks good though. Olives. I know what those are. Crab apples. I also know what those are. Typically, they're not considered edible, but I don't think they're poisonous. They're just not tasty. Maybe dehydrated is a different story. Pears, now that's good. I don't really see any apples though. May apples. Huh. Wintergreen berries. Huh. Well, let's go ahead and insert everything. Boom. Okay, so it's actually going to need to go in a second rack. Not a lot. Oh, we got some mushrooms. A lot of the variety gets kind of taken away as you dehydrate. It pretty much, as far as I remember, goes into like 4 categories: dried fruit, dried veggies, or dried mushrooms, and of course meat too. But yeah, so that looks like a whole bunch of stuff to keep track of, but it's really not. Now this is everything at my feet non-food wise. We did get a crap ton of these hickory nuts. We're going to drag all this into the cave too, and we'll start to look in our crafting list to see, cooking I should say specifically, what we can make. It still might be possible to get a whole bounty out of these nuts. But I also noticed a tree spiel out there I had lost in the woods, so I brought that back. I don't think we're quite ready to get the drilling. Did we make the drill? I can't remember now. We'll have to check it out. But first things first, I'm going to clean up here, light those dehydrators so that they'll be done by the morning. Oh yeah, we're getting very tired. And then I think we'll save a little bit of crafting for tomorrow. And there we go. Good morning, everybody. As you can see, all the different nice varieties have been kind of reduced to just dried veg fruit, although it does show these varieties. That's interesting, but I'm just kind of curious about cooking, if we need specific materials, but it's not a big deal. What matters is it's done, so let's remove the food. Takes a moment. There we go. Remove the food. And that's not a bad haul. I've got some extra charcoal here, so let's reload. Is that one full too? Beautiful. So yeah, I think we can pick most of that up. It does still show the type. Yeah, that's nice. It's nice. Although the mushrooms lose their type. Either way, there's always quirks with this game. It's one of the best parts about it. Maybe not the best part, but it's still one of the parts of the game. Alright, so this, of course, root cellar over here is just kind of for emergency or intermediary purposes whenever we're butchering. So I'm not going to bring those or put those in there. These will go downstairs, so let's drop them. I've been eating a little bit as the mornings go by, just to make sure we stave off that scurvy. So let's see if we can drop any of this stuff in that one. Okay, some of it did not go, so we'll move it. We want to get it all in the root cellar. And what's over here? Oh, I've got my lamp sitting there. Alright, so with our advanced inventory management, we look at our feet, we look at the root cellar, and then we move everything into the root cellar. Good. Inventory's empty. There we go. Yeah, we're looking at quite a nice stash of stuff here. We've even got over 1,000 meat in this cellar. And to the right, this one's full. We've got over close to 2,500 meat here. Even a little bit of dehydrated chicken, and obviously a bunch of fruit, veggies, mushrooms, some flour, even smoked meat. I'm actually thinking, let's grab this smoked meat because we're going to engage in some serious crafting here, so we will want a little stash of food above with us. All right, so yeah, let's drop that meat on the ground. Now, he is thirsty. Let's get her a big gulp of water. I do want to do, we're going to get into tools and blacksmithing, but let's just look through this. So the acorns I don't care about. Pine needle tea, rose seeds. I actually think we will maybe make some rose seeds, but tea, is that what I'm looking for? I don't know. Let me look up rose again. Huh. Interesting. Maybe there's a recipe I don't know. It's probably something in survival or in food handling that I need to unlock if there's a recipe for the rose hips. Well, either way, I wonder why I brought up these. Huh. Well, we'll just make some seeds out of those, the rose hips, because I can't even eat them, which is weird because I know that rose hips in real life are very valuable, like survival food. I've seen them in other games. Will help with vitamin C. Okay, well, either way, not to dwell on stuff. Let's move on. I would like to see about these nuts, but I'm not seeing anything regarding the hickory nuts. Maybe we need to shell them first. Do I do like an action? Honestly, I've never relied on a lot of this kind of foraging and stuff. I've picked some berries and fruits, in regular runs occasionally, but there's usually plenty of food. I've definitely dehydrated meats, but I don't see anything to deal with the nuts. And they're in here too. They're just on the ground right here somewhere. Yeah, we got acorns here, beech nuts, wintergreen leaves, hazelnuts. So let me read it. Hardness is still in their shells. Oh, look. Disassembly takes 5 minutes, requires a tool of hammering. So we actually have to disassemble this. So we do the butcher command. Disassemble hazel and hickory nuts. That's just going to do one. The best thing to do in this situation is to go into haul and just move this pile out. Let's get these nuts out of here. Where were they? Hold on, let me get this separated. Okay, there we go. So we've got them all in a pile. Now we can just disassemble everything. It takes 3 hours. Jeez Louise. Well, it is food. Honestly, I probably should have waited and did this during the winter. Kind of just experimenting now. Okay. Now we've got shelled stuff, and they appear blue, or this kind of teal color, whatever, just because that means they are now considered a food. Interesting. Did I get anything in my inventory? No, nothing like plant fiber. So, let's go into cooking again. Because it shows them raw. Hazelnut milk. Wait, you can make hazelnut. You can milk hazelnuts. Not quite, but you can blend them with water. Dairy-free alternative. Calcium rival to walnut milk. How long does it last? Only 3 days. Time is 15 minutes. Let's make a couple. See what happens. We got plenty of containers. In fact, probably need to fill some of these canning pots up with water and bring them back here. Interesting. Hazelnut pulp. That's not what we made, though. Drink it up, buddy. Delish. Okay. Yeah, that actually brought us up to very high calories consumed. Well, look at that. We're learning things every day, and I believe we have more left. So let me just look at a shelf life. What are we talking about here? I think I'm actually... Am I too far from these? Beech nuts, 12 weeks, a season. Oh, yeah, there's no rush. So even after shelling, we can just kind of sit on those for a while. Not a big deal. That's good. That's good, because now it's time to make tools, everybody. Let's look at some of our previous searches, not rows. The drift, yeah, that was one of the last things that we made, if I'm not mistaken. The drift. I think a drill might be in order. I can't quite remember if we have everything, but if we look up drill, that will tell us right away what we're going to need. Let's see. We're looking for drilling 2, not rock drilling. But just, there it is. Hand drill. We're ready to make it. 8 hours. Steel plank. Now, this is amazing because this is what we need to get the syrup going, and we're in the season for it right now. And obviously, drilling too is going to be important for a lot of other stuff, but okay, I just had to look around a little bit, make sure that we didn't start on this already and then I forgot about it, but we've still got our helmet. The bow's not a priority. Neither really is this. I just wanted to start it. This is like a multi-day process, so we're definitely going to make the drill. Here we go, folks. Big step right here. Hand drill. This is even one of those things like drilling level 2. You need a regular playthrough if you plan on working on any kind of vehicles. We'll just do a stick. Planks are a bit more valuable because we have to actually saw those up. Very nice, very nice. Taking a bit of time. We should be auto drinking and eating though. As she gets to very thirsty, that'll reset. And food should stay pretty good. Dang, look at that. Just works straight through the day. Yep. We're looking at nighttime now. Good job, whist. Oh, and then another extremely valuable tool, which I'm going to favorite and then just drop right on the ground here. But don't worry, there's nothing that can happen to those tools there. Still got that pulp, so let me drop that on the ground. Well, we are very thirsty. We're moderately weary. It might not be crazy to get out here. Let me see, what are we working with? Still got this metal axe head as opposed to a real axe. Maybe that's something I'll have to look for soon as like a proper axe, but oh, you know what? We need to drill these trees too. Yeah. We'll do that in the morning, but I might just drop a tree. In other words, let's move a little bit farther away from this. What is this? Oh, an apple tree. Yes, pick that. Definitely don't want to, you know what? There's plenty of hickory, so let's just pick it, and then we'll chop this down real quick. Chop it down. You can do this in the dark, and it's a good exertion. So that took us from moderate to weary. I just feel better going to bed, you know, completely empty of energy. Pretty loud though too, so let's skedaddle and get back to the safety of the nice warm cave. Speaking of warmth, let me look here. What do we got down here? So at my feet, there's not much to burn. I need to actually spend a day or two just chopping wood, but there's so many priorities. Another thing, you know, people have mentioned too, as we're getting closer now, clothing is going to be so important. And it turns out I'm actually pretty much out of the animal hides. I've been cutting them up for leather patches to make more and more of those large clay vessels with the lids, because those take leather patches. And yeah, we're going to have to just slaughter up some small animals, smaller, so that, I don't know, we don't overwhelm ourselves with meat. But so many things to do, guys. Like I said, the one thing we can't avoid, though, is a good night's sleep. So let's get below. It is day 7 of autumn. Whist is lightly weary, and it's the afternoon because I processed that tree that we felled last night, and it is time. I've got the drill in my hand, so let's see about this one here. I'm going to hit E, nice, asking me which tapping tool. We'll use the one that's on the ground. That's designated by this 0. That's how I know this one's on the ground. Boom, and the clay pot too. I wasn't sure, but I figured we need a container, so I did put pots with each spiel. Boom. You hang the clay pot under the makeshift tree spiel to collect sap. And I think this is only, oh, you can see it. I think it's only available during the beginning of the autumn, if I remember. Like, if you look at these maple trees during, like, the spring and summer, it tells you when you can do it. But I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's just this season, the beginning of the season. So we lucked out. We really timed this drill perfectly, although it was total coincidence. But there's a couple more here. Ha ha ha. Let's do it. Boom. This one here. That one now. I've actually got 2 in my inventory too. That's why it keeps popping up with 2 different lists. So, oh, there's a 3rd one right here. Actually, this will be our 4th one, won't it? Boom, boom. And let's find another one. This little cone guy. Little cone. Oh, here we go. I see one, I think. Yeah, not too far from home. This is why I've been trying to avoid cutting a lot of these trees down near the cave, because some of them are real useful. Boom. Hey, hey, hey. All right, so that's 5 trees with maple sap. So this was, again, kind of the reason that I disbanded our little aphid farm. We only had one, but slaughtered him just because I figured if we can get the sap going, we're going to be good with sugar, I think. So let's see, what do we got piled up here? Bunch of debris. Okay, so we've got the rest of the day, which doesn't have a lot of daylight left in it, but if we pop in, I think it's good to go ahead. Yeah, let's drop this drill. It's not the biggest thing in the world, but 2 pounds. Yeah, I don't need to carry it around with me. And we can get a little fire started. Let's just look into what we can craft next. If we go to the other category, filter it by tools, what jumps out at us? We've got this wood saw, but we just made a saw. Large adjustable wrench. Now, I don't know. I think we literally could make a vehicle. I'm pretty sure we could make a steam engine too, but let's keep looking, because that's going to be very specific with bolt turning and wheel fastening. We might want it at some point, but this is crazy, the amount. Bolt cutters, no. Sledgehammer, I mean, that's actually a legitimate weapon. 50 bash plus 1 to hit with that thing. It's even got like special techniques. 17 hours and 30 minutes. I mean, Whist is very strong. We've beefed up her strength a couple times with, yeah, the mod. We've got bombastic perks. The cairn might be like another necessity. Let's keep looking. Oh, the pickaxe. Yeah, no, that's what we want. I've forgotten. In order to keep, yeah, we're not even going to bother with the bronze one. 15 hours. Yeah, again, let me just confirm. I haven't already started this or made one here, but that's going to be what we need to keep this whole shebang going. In other words, it's fun to be blacksmithing now, but we're working with very limited ore. You know, it's just what I found below ground and what we got lucky and then just spawned in the cave. So we need to equip ourselves to dig more of it out. And I've been told a couple strategies how to actually do the digging, so I'm excited to try it. And we can do that once we get a pickaxe. So let's do it. I think we're pretty ready. Yeah, just checking everything out. It is going to be nighttime soon, so we'll just start it, I think, and then finish in the morning, most likely. Boom, pickaxe. We'll use a stick. Get it up a few percent. What did it say, like 18 hours? Let's drop it here. This is my pile of unfinished projects at my feet, so it's safe there. Still afternoon. She's only moderately weary. Yeah, we can pick it back up. Keep going. I just don't want her to stay up all night. It's easy to do that on these long projects. Just look away from the screen, text somebody on your phone, and boom, before you know it, it's 2 a.m. All right, now she's very thirsty, very weary, so it's a good time to stop regardless. And I have a feeling it's night. Yeah, perfect. So let's fill up her belly, put her to sleep, and start everything over again in the morning. All right, good morning once again. Pickaxe is at 80, 90, almost done. Oh my gosh, we're weary. Look at that. Another full day of nothing but crafting. It is nighttime. God, these days are flying by. Day 8 going into 9, but we've done it. I mean, another critical tool. I think what we'll do now is, of course, favorite. This is coming below with us, though. Let's have a big drink. I'm going to put her to bed here, but another thing I was noticing, I was thinking about this. What do we need to do some actual mining? For one thing, we're probably going to wait till the winter, or at least the end of the fall, or if we run out of stuff, then we'll need to go try and mine. But it's not super critical. What we have to do is get out there and get more furs and leathers. So in the morning, we're going to set out on a little adventure. Bring some cattle fodder, some ropes. I know I have at least one. And we're going to start rounding up smaller game. Maybe some big game too. We'll see how that goes. But I've got to prioritize the hides. That will allow us to just, spend the winter comfortably, down here mining and stuff, which is going to be great. We'll just put this in our little shelter for now. Drop it right there. And of course, when I need to, I can go out and chop a tree, keep the wood going. And also, we're going to need a lot of lamp oil. If we're down here, pickaxing or even, crafting or doing anything, really, we're going to need light. And I do have a limited amount of this oil. This is all I have right here. Each lamp takes, 250 charges or units. So, yeah, we need animal fat for that. So it's definitely going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. 3, if you consider we're also getting meat out of it, too, for long-term survival. So we'll down a couple of smaller game, and hopefully we'll get a bunch of hides out of it, which are going to save our lives. Day 9, and she woke up a little bit early, so it's still dark. But I figured it was a good opportunity to craft up something, maybe relatively quick. 2 hours for a big frame pack. Now, somebody recommended, and I believe it was David, so big shout out if that was you, Dave. Sorry, we get a lot of comments, so it's hard to keep track sometimes. But if we make this, for one thing, it's going to help to level up my tailoring. So let's get that done. Ignore the smoke. Take a couple hours, should be daylight. And here's something we want to try. So interact with the stag. Attach a bag. Big frame pack. Yeah. Boom. So he's got a bag on him. Remove a bag. Now, these big frame packs, though, aren't actually that useful without a container in them, essentially. I mean, it might be useful if I wanted to haul like a log or something, or maybe even a corpse, a big corpse. We could put that in there, but if we want to haul like a bunch of little things, then we need to do what we've done with the pack frame she's wearing, is insert the wicker basket into the pack frame, and then random stuff that we pick up will go into the basket, essentially. But I don't want to make a basket right now, because weaving like that can take most of the day. Let's see, it is around dawn, so that's good. I've got 2 ropes and 2 pieces of cattle fodder. Now, even though we just took the time to trick out our little stag here, or big stag, I'm actually going to leave him. We're not going to bring him. I will quick save it. And let's look at the map. So, I know I've seen like some small pigs around. I'm just going to venture southward. I'm kind of curious about what's down here along the river. I don't know if we'll go that far, because again, the intention right now is just to get some animals and bring it back. Where's that oversized snail at? I'm pretty sure this guy snuck into the cave at one point. I almost tripped over him, and there he is. Wild turkeys, as I recall, don't give much skin. And I don't have bird food either. We have cattle fodder, so I don't think we're going to worry. Oh, there's a dinosaur of some sort. I mean, I think every single dino I've tried has just been a failure. They don't seem to be tameable, but then again, maybe it's just, the right ones we have to find. Now look at this, I just noticed. Yeah, it literally said right there, there it is, the sunrise is especially beautiful today, and we got a mood boost from that. That's actually something I've never seen in this game. Another reason I love Cataclysm is because every time I play, it seems like I discover something new. I mean, whether it's a new item, a new type of NPC or mission, or, something unique like that. In fact, we get a mood boost from seeing a nice sunrise. But I tell you what, my mood will be boosted if we find us an animal that we can bring home quickly and butcher up and get right back out and find more. Okay, here's a possibility. So we're looking at a little herd of flat-headed peccaries. Now, these are not the hostile pigs that we've had. Those are like, I can't remember, short-nosed. I don't remember what they're called, but these are neutral. They're medium in size, which is perfect. Won't fill up every rack we have, but should still drop a fair amount of, textile. And I don't know if we can tame them, especially with just cattle fodder, but typically pigs will eat everything, and they're very chill. Let me walk right up to them. Come on, baby. We've done it. All right, we've got one. It is push the flat out. Yeah, we want to attach the leash. Good. And of course, I have a second one. So let's boop, boop, boop. Yeah. And I'm definitely going to mark this area too. So now we can lead them. Lead. Sometimes a little tricky because they will break the leash or they'll drop the leash. It doesn't break it. They just, Yeah, they tug on it and you drop it, so you have to go back and lead them again. 2 at a time is especially annoying because it happens twice as often. But like I said, actually, let's come back. It was roughly about here. We'll leave a note. We'll say piggies. And yeah, there was at least, what, twice as many as what we've got here. So we're coming back. And I've just got to make it to there. Yeah, let me just go ahead and cut right to the cave and we'll finish the processing. Or at least start it, I should say. And here we are, right back at the cave. So our bison is looking on. 1 pig is tied down, and the second one, I just killed it. So now we will go in, and of course, oh, there's the hoe is sitting under it, but that's okay. Skin the corpse. So important. I don't forget to do this now. That's the whole point of why we're coming out here. So we got 6 pelts. I'm going to pick those up along with that. The hoe needs to stay here. Now, we will go ahead and do a full butchery, only 47 minutes. This is why I wanted smaller animals, too. Less time spent doing these big tasks. So, that is beautiful. I think I am going to choose items to haul. We want that fat, but I'll pick that up. See, only 25 chunks. Yeah, this is very moderate. We'll deal with the bones, the fat later. Let's just go ahead and get this filled up. Insert. Nice. I think it'll stay okay there long enough for us to do the second one. Now, I'm kind of pushing it here. I should do these one at a time, but yeah, in fact, you know what? Screw it. There's no rush here. Let's go ahead and light this up. Boom. So that's working while we're working. Now, the only thing I do need to consider is these pelts. What we'll do, just to be extra safe, give us the maximum amount of time, I'll drop them in the root cellar. I hope that keeps them fresh. And let's take this guy out. It's a bit of a process. The last one died after 2 strikes. Now I missed. Missed again. I was going to say maybe it's because she's getting better spear attacks, but obviously she's completely whiffing right now. Also, our spear is very damaged at this point. I need to make another one. Eventually, we are going to whip together an actual true weapon, but, well, let me just go ahead and take him down. Might take a few strikes to do it, but I'll repeat this process, and then I'm heading right back to the pig herd. I'm going to get a few more of these. They're definitely reasonable enough size, but, oh, I almost forgot. Before I do that, I will process the hides. I promise. We'll get those curing, and then we'll turn them into the tanned variety. Oh boy, well, this day was a busy one. A lot of work done, but it didn't really fly by. I got 4 pigs butchered, so there's 24 cured hides that I'm going to drop right there. I'm down to 1 cattle fodder, so we should probably make a couple more of these. Let's see. Oh, bundle. No, we don't want that. We'll just whip up as many as we can. Canola seeds. Yep, it's good use for those. Alright, those are my inventory. Yeah, I'm going to continue this in the morning, but we have lost the daylight. The dehydrators are going strong. I got a couple of them filled up now, but again, most importantly, we've got fur patches, 122 cured hides now, and some pelts too. Let's look up pelt. Oh, what? Wait, I know I have pelts somewhere. That's weird. Well, I was also curing pelts. Looks like a cured hides. Huh. Maybe they all turn, even the pelts turn into hides? Is that what happened? Now I'm confused. I have to confirm that. Yeah, I think that becomes an animal hide when it's done. Well, we've got a bunch of them, so those are still being cured. I think then we can tan them, but either way, maybe you should be a bit more careful for the next round of peccaries that we find. I can look a little closer at their pelts too, because we're going to want fur, not just leather, obviously. But we're weary, so it's time for another night to end. Extinguish that fire. We're going below, folks. It's going to be day 10 when we wake up, but I think we'll end things here for the episode. And like I said, we've got a lot more work to prepare for winter, though. So we know that it's going to get colder, and it's a race against time at this point, but you won't miss out on any of the action if you make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and like the video too. That always helps me a lot. But I really appreciate you tuning in, and I will see you guys on the next one.